everyone. Jorhena Thomas with Growth Security here today. I'm so excited to have one of our fantastic mentors with us, Tylene Ivey. Hi, Tylene.
Hello, how are you?
Doing great. How are you today?
I'm awesome. Glad to be here.
Excellent. We're so happy to have you here with us as well. So, everyone, today we're going to be talking about this concept of active listening. We talk a lot about communication skills and the ability to get our thoughts across, but it's just as important to be able to listen to others actively and really understand what they're sharing and show that when we're listening. So, Tylene is an expert in this, and we are going to get her tips on how to be a good active listener today.
Thank you.
So, yes, thank you. So I'm going to jump right in, Tylene.
Okay.
I want to ask you, what does it mean to be an active listener?
Okay. So I'll start off first by saying hello, everyone. Anything I say is my own personal opinion. It does not represent my employer or anybody else. I'm speaking from my own personal experience. So just wanted to throw that out there. And I will tell you, this is my view on what active listening is. And first, I'll start with what it's not. So let's just role play just for a quick second. And you ask me a question, say anything to me.
So I'll ask the same question. What does active listening mean to you, Tylene? I'd like to know. I'm
Um,
really interested.
okay, active listening. I think active listening is, hold on one quick second. Okay, so we're all guilty of doing this, right? Like you are having a conversation with somebody and you're sending a text message, you're typing out an email and trying to listen to the person that's having a conversation with you. Are you really active listening if you are sending a text message? No, right? Because you're not giving that person your undivided attention. So for me, active listening is not just about hearing the person, but listening attentively and hearing what that person is saying and understanding so that you can kind of sympathize and empathize and regurgitate what's being said. So for me, active listening is paying attention, giving somebody your undivided attention so that you can have a two-way conversation and you don't have any distractions in that conversation.
Okay, yes, that makes a lot of sense, Ty. All right, so can you talk to us then about how you personally use active listening skills with your mentee at work, with your family? Like how do you make it real in your life?
So, in order for me to make active listening real, and I will say this, I had to laugh because you said I was an expert and I'm not. I am actively every day working on becoming a better listener. I am surrounded, I work in human resources. So I'm surrounded by people that talk a lot. My family talks a lot. I'm just surrounded by talkers. And so I have a tendency or used to tune people out, or I would pretend that I'm engaged, and I'm very good at it because I can say uh-huh and nod and do five other things and you think I'm listening and I'm not. Until you ask me, what did I just say? And I can't tell you because I wasn't listening. So I have learned that people get frustrated because at times they're telling you their life story. They're really wanting somebody that can give them feedback, and you're not paying attention because you're doing multitasking. So I have learned that in order to be a better active listener, I need to either give them my undivided attention um, and be engaged and stop what it is I'm doing. So if I'm not able to do that, and I know people tend to get frustrated by this, like, why aren't you answering the phone? If I can't give you my undivided attention, then I'm probably not going to answer the phone because I do want to participate and have that conversation with you. So, I have the body language where I'm facing you to let you know you have my attention. If I'm on the phone, I'm sitting still. I'm not, running back and forth, or I'm saying, hey, let me call you back when I can sit and listen. So I try to take small times where I can give people my attention so that I can actively listen to the conversation and giving them genuine feedback and or not head nods or something to let them know I hear you, and let me just repeat what was said to you to me or how I received what you said, just to let you know yes, I am listening to you and asking questions, just to make those people feel like, yes, she understands what I'm saying. She heard me. This is somebody I like to talk to. It's kind of the gift and the curse, I say, because now people like to talk to me. She's always listening, and I am always listening. Am I always actively listening? Probably not. So I will say I'm a work in progress, but I definitely try to give people my undivided attention as much as possible.
Okay, excellent. And thank you for being so honest about that. I know it's a work in progress for a lot of us, and so I
Yes,
appreciate you saying that.
definitely.
So, as a piece of that, I want to know if you can share how can someone with attention issues learn to listen actively? I think a lot of us just naturally have attention issues, and
Mhm.
then a lot of us have learned to spread our attention among lots of different things.
Right.
And so I'm curious about your thoughts on how we can learn to listen actively, regardless of our attention issues.
So I am a self-diagnosed person with attention issues. I think as I've gotten older, my attention span has become less. And I recognize it. I find myself becoming fidgety or tuning out, as I said previously, or I'm wanting to do other things. And I'll give you a prime example. I was at a conference this past week, last week, and the guy was a great speaker. I love the content, but after a little bit over an hour of listening, I found myself like, what is he talking about? And I'm ready to go. And, I'm used to being at work where I can get up from my seat at any time. It's bright lights. It's always somebody asking a question or me doing multiple things. And I couldn't do that in this conference, or I could have, but it would have been considered rude. And so what I found myself doing, and I do think it works, is I find something to focus my attention on, whether it's some people have like little fidgety tools or something like that to keep just for that moment, because otherwise I'm just sitting there and my brain is going a million miles an hour. So sometimes I'll get a pen and paper and I'll write notes so that I can focus in on what that person is saying. And I did do that. Like, I would take little points and I would write down what that person just said. And that would make me bring my attention back to the speaker, because I think he was an awesome speaker and the stories that he gave were great. It was just, it felt like I don't know how kindergartners do it. But so yeah, definitely if you can take notes, do that. If there's, some sort of fidgety tool that you could use to kind of help take your attention away from the fact that you're sitting there and you don't want to be listening, you could do that. And just kind of tune in and pay attention to yourself and know those cues. That's why I said I am self-diagnosed, because I know that I don't always want to sit and listen, and my brain will just start wandering. And I'm like, okay, tune back in. Um, if you can ask questions, maybe you can do that to kind of help get yourself engaged in the conversation that's being had. Um, or whatever you can do to physically get yourself involved in the conversation so that your attention is not elsewhere. So there's a number of things that you can do to help you stay actively involved in a conversation.
Well, thank you for these very honest reflections, Tylene. We really appreciate it. So, everyone, we talked about what it means to be an active listener. We talked about how Tylene, in particular, lets that show up when she communicates with other people. And we also talked about some tips if you're one of the millions of us who have attention issues. So, we want to thank you so much for your time. I also want to let everyone know that with this video, make sure you check out the one pager that is going to go over a little bit more about what we talked about today and give a few more tips about how to be an active listener in your life, whether it be at school, work, home, wherever. Thank you so much, Ty, for your time today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. This is so much fun.